didn't know that. Did you know that? I did not know that. Hey everybody, it's Becky. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. I'm going to have quite a few homeschooling videos popping up here the next few weeks because, as I mentioned in one of my other videos, and I'm not sure if it's gone up yet or not, but we are kind of coming to the end of our homeschooling year. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's almost there. I can make it. But at this point, we have about 2 months left in our homeschooling year, and I have a couple things that I really wanted to share with you guys that have been working for us, different programs and different things that I purchased. So I have a couple things that I want to share with you guys before our school year is over. That way, the things I want to say are fresh in my mind, and that way, if you guys are shopping already for your next school year like I am, or if you homeschool all year long, these things might be helpful for you. So I want to get all this stuff up before our school year ends, and hopefully they are helpful for you guys. So make sure that you check out my homeschooling playlist if you haven't already seen that, because there might be some videos in there that you haven't seen yet. But today's video is going to be my review of the All About Spelling program. If you've watched my channel for a while and you've been following our homeschooling journey, you may already know that we already use the All About Reading program, which is the same company. All About Reading and All About Spelling are the same company. If you don't know already, I have a 7th grader and a 1st grader. So this is obviously for my 1st grader, but we've been using All About Reading for her for about a year. We just started level 2 a couple months ago, and we're about halfway through that book. And we really love that program. She's really doing well with it. I'm really doing well with it. And it's been a perfect reading curriculum for us for over a year now. If you missed the videos I made about All About Reading, I will link them in the description box below. And I will be doing another video for them reviewing All About Reading level 3. Probably next school year, so be on the lookout for that. Basically, when it came to spelling, I knew I didn't want to start spelling until 1st grade because I wanted to make sure she had a pretty good basis for reading before we started throwing in a bunch of things like how to spell. But when it comes to the topic of how to teach spelling, how do you do it? How do you teach spelling besides remembering just a long list of words and then at the end of the week trying to figure out how to replicate them on paper? I know that's how I learned in school. I'm a very good speller, but basically you just memorize a list of words. Nobody teaches you necessarily, at least for me, nobody taught us a certain reason why certain words were spelled certain ways and certain letters said certain things sometimes, not other times. And so I was really kind of confused when it came to figuring out what am I going to do for her for spelling. And I knew that All About Reading was amazing, and so I thought, well, All About Spelling is probably amazing too. And guess what? It is. We just completed level 1. We were actually getting ready to start level 2. We are almost through level 1, and it has only taken probably 6 months, I think, to get through level 1. But the nice thing about All About Reading, the All About Reading program, is it uses magnetic letter tiles. So if you end up purchasing the All About Spelling program, you don't have to purchase new magnetic letter tiles, because the tiles that came with All About Reading will work with All About Spelling and vice versa. So that's nice, and I know that the 2 programs are meant to complement each other. You don't have to be using All About Reading to be able to use All About Spelling, but if you are using All About Reading and you add All About Spelling, they are meant to complement each other. And they recommend that you start with level 1. Even if you have a child that's older and maybe you don't know exactly what level they need, they do have placement tests online. You can always ask them, but from what I understand, they still recommend you start at level 1, because that really teaches you the basis of why certain things are spelled certain ways and the patterns that we actually can learn from spelling. And All About Spelling uses the same multi-sensory learning approach that All About Reading uses. So it basically incorporates all 3 learning styles in each lesson. There's something that's going to speak to everybody. There's kinesthetic activities, there's auditory activities, and there are visual activities. Something that I really like about All About Reading and All About Spelling is each new lesson, there's a review of the previous lesson at the beginning of the new lesson. So you're always constantly reviewing what you just learned and then adding a little bit more, and then reviewing what you just learned and adding a little bit more. So you're really building on what they've learned, and you're keeping the basis of that foundation that they need, especially when it comes to reading and spelling. They need to keep those concepts fresh in their mind before they add another concept to it. I really like how all the lessons are scripted, because for somebody like me who has no clue how to teach reading or spelling to somebody, I was really scared to teach my daughter to read because I didn't know what to tell her. I just know how to read. I don't remember how I learned to read. It's the same thing with spelling. I don't know how to tell her why certain things are the way they are. And so I like that the lessons are scripted. So I know exactly what to say to her. And they're short lessons. Spelling for us maybe takes at most 15 minutes. If it's a day we're doing a lot of review or she's writing out a lot of words that I'm having her write out. Other than that, you know, the lessons are really short. And I think that's nice because it makes it easy to fit spelling in every single day because it's something I want to do every day with her. But, you know, if you have something that takes a long time, it's sometimes a challenge to fit it in with all the other things that you need to get done in a day. So it's nice that the lessons are short and we can do it every single day. One thing I really love about All About Spelling is it really does rely on spelling rules. Those certain rules that you could, if you know those things, you are set up to spell any word correctly, whether it's one you know yet or one you don't. And I think that really helps with reading as well. So let's say, because one thing I know that we learned, and this is something I didn't know how I knew it, but I knew it. Like when you spell city, how do you know to use an S or a C? Maybe I'm the only person that didn't know this, but do you know how to know when you use an S or a C? Because you know sometimes C can make this sound. C says S before I, E, or Y. I didn't know that. Did you know that? I did not know that. So that is a good example of something that your child will learn through All About Spelling that's also going to help them not only to be a great speller, but then with reading as well. So let's say they see the word city in a book and maybe they don't know that word yet and they might want to say that that word is kitty. But if they already know that C says S before I, E, or Y, then they're going to be like, no, that's city. So they're all tied in together, and I think that is really important to know those fundamental patterns that are there that I did not know existed. I didn't know how that I knew those things, and I certainly didn't know how to teach them, and I certainly didn't know them all written down to be able to teach my daughter. So I love that about this program. So yes, there is some memorization involved of those flashcards, but it's not something that you have to like memorize 100% before you move on because, like I said, you're going to have review all throughout the book, and you have those cards you can review as much as you want. So I think knowing those rules is really important because it's going to set your child up to be a better speller, whether that's now or 10 years from now, and it's going to set them up to be a better reader because they're going to understand those patterns in speech and those patterns in spelling that do exist that we need to learn to be able to be a really good speller and a really good reader. We are having tremendous success with All About Spelling. It is very, very affordable, and as I said, if you already have the All About Reading program letter tiles, you don't need to even purchase more letter tiles. I really, really love All About Spelling. I really, really love All About Reading, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it to you guys. So make sure you check out the links below. I will link to the All About Spelling website. I will link my All About Reading reviews that I've done in the past. Because I really just think when you find a curriculum that is working and it has continued to work, I think as a homeschooling parent, it's an amazing feeling to know that you have found something that is working so well. And I have seen my daughter thrive so much since we started the All About Reading program and then now the All About Spelling program. Her reading and her spelling have improved so much. And now she actually sits there and tries to write out things, and you can see the wheels turning when she's writing now. I can see her thinking of which letter to use, and maybe if she's supposed to use you know, a consonant team, she's sitting there thinking like CK and, you know, TH. She's thinking about those things. I can see the gears turning when she writes now, and it's so nice to see. And her reading has been like off the charts phenomenal. She has gotten so much better with her reading this school year. I'm super proud of her, and I attribute a lot of that to her, but I also attribute a lot of that to the All About Reading program because it is so gentle but so smart and so well thought out, and it really is a great reading program, and their spelling program is amazing too. Make sure that you are on the lookout when I do the All About Reading Level 3 review because it will be coming up probably late this year or maybe early 2018. It just kind of depends on when we finish up Level 2 and have had time to really get into Level 3. So that kind of depends. I'm not in a huge hurry. You know, with the All About Reading and All About Spelling, you set your own pace and you go at the pace that your child needs to go at. So I'm not really sure when that review is going to be up, but it will be up at some point. So make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss that. Also make sure, even if you're already subscribed to me, hit the little bell next to the subscribe button, because that is going to notify you whenever I upload a new video. YouTube's been kind of wonky lately and either unsubscribing people or different things like that. So if you have that notification bell clicked, it will let you know whenever I make a video so you don't miss it. So I hope this video was helpful. Make sure if it was, you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.